Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So this is the series as I edited Immortal, and you guys are getting ready to watch round 2 as I edited Immortal for the second time, and I'm very excited. This is an epic historical fantasy romance with action and war and battles, real true stories from history, as well as like an emotional romance that will like make you swoon. And it's such a good book. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody in it, and I've worked so hard on it. My editor Eshe worked so hard on it, and I hope you enjoy this vlog series as I edited Immortal. The link will be in the description below along with the blurb if you'd like to check it out, and you can order it for yourselves, and I hope you enjoy this vlog series. So let's get into this. Hey y'all, so this is day 2 of editing Immortal. It is March 26th, so I basically picked up Immortal on Saturday, which was, according to my calendar, Saturday was the 23rd, and today is the 26th, so it's only been over the weekend and Monday. I finished editing Survivor yesterday, so today my sister was at work, and I wanted to write because I haven't written in my psychological thriller called The Man in the Cellar. I haven't written since like Thursday or Friday because I was focused on editing Survivor. So today I just wanted to take some time to write and to get ahead on my scheduling my YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm doing that behind me. So tonight I was going to take a break because I've been editing like every day pretty consistently in Survivor, and that was heavy edits because I had like 30 characters. I had at least a dozen character perspectives to go to, each with a different voice. So I had, and then plus it was my old style of writing, so there was heavy edits. There was a lot of rewriting. It was a lot of brain work and just mentally exhausting, even though I do like the story. So basically I was going to give myself a break, but here's the deal. I don't have the money to hire editor. I combined Heather with editor, so that's new. Apparently that's your editing name now, Heather. I don't have the money to hire Heather to edit Survivor yet, but I'm going for a July release-ish for Immortal. So here's the thing. I have to go through and edit this for round 2. I have to format it. I have to then order a proof copy, which Amazon shipping times, that'll take at least a month. So it'll take a month to get to me, and then I'll have to go through and proofread it and then implement those changes. And then if there's anything big, I may have to order another proof copy. So this is going to take me a long time, and I may not get it done in time for the summer release. And then I don't know how long I want to have for a pre-order period, and the audiobook, trying to do that as well. So I need to get started at Immortal ASAP, so I don't get a break. I'm doing it tonight. I'm probably not going to start editing it now because my sister should be on her way home soon. I already have dinner kind of started. It's in the oven, so I don't have to worry about that. So for now, I'm just going to edit my YouTube video, try to get it done before my sister gets home, so that way tonight I can just start editing Immortal and see how much I can get done. Hopefully it'll go a lot quicker. I know Heather said it did for her, and then us talking about it only took like a week, when last time it took us 2 months just to talk about everything. So we'll see how that goes. So that's the plan. I just wanted to fill you guys in on the plan. It honestly feels kind of good to like have my phone here again and like talk to you guys and stuff, mostly because I have so many books on my shelf over here, and it's like we're back again. So it took me 52 days last time, so we'll see how long it'll take me this time. So yeah, I think that's everything, so I will check in with you guys later. Alright, I've got Immortal here set up. I'll be pulling it up here. This is rendering, so this is the YouTube video, so I'm good to go. And it's 8:32 on March 26th. Yeah, I'm just gonna start editing and see how much I can get done. So I will check in with you guys later. Before I get started, I don't know my system for editing. I think this time I'm going to read through my round 2 notes and then go through that section. So let me start that over. So I think my structure and how I'm gonna do this is one section at a time. Before I edit a section, I'm gonna go through my notes for that section, my notes for round 2, which was based on her concerns that she brought up that were also her concerns based on my concerns from when I went through round 1. So that kind of will encompass everything I need to look for that section. So then I'll edit that section, and then I'll go back through those notes as well as my notes from round 1 and listen to the recordings for those section to make sure I've covered everything before I move on. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I hope is that I'll get through Jamestown tonight, but I have to do the glossary and the character index, which there's actually a lot of things to change there, and then the first letter, and then Jamestown. So I don't know if I get to the first letter, then that's still going to be an accomplishment, but we'll see. So let's begin. So maybe I'm procrastinating here, but I didn't realize the character guide and the glossary was so big. Like, I'm telling you, Jamestown doesn't start until like page like 20 or something like that. So I've got to get to page 34 to finish the character guide, the glossary, and Jamestown. And I know we had talked about putting the glossary and the character guide at the end, so I think I'm gonna wait till the very end of Immortal before I do that. So okay, so it's 9:13 and I'm still working on the glossary because basically my editor decided that any word that is repeated in multiple eras should only be listed for the first time it appears. So I have to go through I have a lot of like Japanese eras, for example, and then the Lakota words and then I had the Roman ones, the Latin ones, but especially the Japanese ones are repeated multiple times. So I've had to go through 3 Japanese eras, and I held out all the papers in front of me, and then I also wrote them on a list here. These are all the words that were repeated that I needed to take out. So I was double checking everything and deleting the ones that didn't need to be repeated or whatever. And then my video got done rendering, so I put it on YouTube and made a thumbnail. I'm working on the thumbnail right now. And then I've had to double check a few definitions and add a few words that I missed that were in the book that she inserted and reminded me to include them in the glossary. So I'm really glad she caught that. So it's just a lot of work. I don't think I'm going to get through Jamestown tonight, but I just want to get to the first letter at least, and like past the glossary and the character guide, because those are going to be a lot of work. And then what I think I may do is copy and paste the glossary and the character guide once I have it all edited, so that way I have it, and then when the time comes I can delete it from the book when I get round 2 done, and then put it at the end before I start my formatting. So yeah, I'm going to finish the thumbnail so that way my video on YouTube can just render on YouTube in the background and get back to work. So I'm on page 10. So yeah, I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, so it's 9:58, it's 10 o'clock, and I just got through finishing the glossary and the character guide thingy. So since it's 10 o'clock, I know my husband comes home at 11:30, so I have time. I'm gonna do as much as I can of Jamestown, but what I did was I just went through all of her changes and taking out repetitive like words or characters. So I didn't really read through it. And at the time when I first opened Immortal, my computer does this thing, if it's a long document, it lags for a while and takes a bit to load the whole document. And so it's just now fully loaded, which means it's finally not lagging. So what I'm going to do before I read the next letter, I may go ahead and read and edit the next letter before Jamestown starts, and then go back up and reread the whole glossary and character guide and all of that in the first letter, to just kind of read. I may go ahead and do that now actually and just read the whole thing at once together, and then start Jamestown from there. So yeah, kind of slow. I'm losing energy. It's 10:30 and I just now read through the glossary and the character guide and the first letter, so basically I'm ready to start Jamestown. But I'm tired, which will do Immortal no favors, so I think I'm going to stop there and try to get through Jamestown tomorrow. I did a lot tonight, so basically I still need to copy and paste the glossary and the character guide to a separate document, but I may wait and do that because I actually noticed when I was reading through it, sometimes I speak in past tense and sometimes I speak in present tense. By speak, I mean the words are written that way. And so I sent a message to my editor, Heather, because it wasn't something that she mentioned as a problem. And I'm thinking I could just be tired, that it may make sense to do because it seemed, I'm so tired, I can't even think of how to explain this to you guys. Like, it may make sense that it's that way because some of them are historical facts that are like of dead people or just historical figures, so that's kind of more the past tense stuff, and then the present tense stuff seems to be more story stuff, kind of. So I don't know what would be best, if I should just try to make it all past tense, like either story stuff or words like translations that are still accurate today, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, again, a lot of the words and terms, a lot of the stuff dealing with the story or dealing with the terms and words are all more present tense, whereas some of the other stuff that have to deal with historical facts are all in past tense. And I don't know if that's okay or not, so I'm going to send a more lengthy message to my editor to talk about it, and probably just save this and stop there, so that way I can just try to do Jamestown tomorrow. I did a lot, so the glossary and the character guide should be complete unless I have to go back through again and get through the past tense, present tense issue. So I did have one problem. One of them, I was talking about an emperor of Japan, and Heather mentioned to use a specific date on when he reigned, and so I was trying to figure out when he reigned, and I have conflicting sources. One was like 1840 something and the other one was like 1831, so I just said I couldn't figure it out. I asked my Japanese friend, she didn't know, so I just ended up saying from around 1830s to 1864, because 1864 for sure is when we knew that emperor died. So that was really one of the only issues I got stumped on, but most of the historical fact checking should be done. That I did that in round 2. I'll put that as a card here so you guys can start that if you guys haven't watched part 1 of this already. So I'm tired, my brain is gone. I will be doing no favors if I try to edit Jamestown tonight, but I did do the glossary and the character guide, which is really important. And let's check the page count real quick. Not page count, but like, yeah, the page count. So page 1 to page 21. So, and technically okay, this is all backwards. It was page 20, yeah, okay, that's stupid. Scratch that. It's page 1 to page 23. Because I did actually go through and edit this section too. So yeah, page 23. So I'm on page 24, which starts Jamestown. So yeah, 22 pages just for the glossary and the character guide. So no wonder why that needs to go at the end. And she said when I do put it at the end, to make a note that there is a glossary and a character guide at the end of the book. So I'll do that, but again, I'm going to do that at the end of the book when I get done editing it. So for now, I'm leaving it in the document that I'm working on. Yeah, that's all I got. I'll check in with you guys later. Hey everyone, so it is day 3 of Editing Immortal, and it's 7 something. It's just after 7 o'clock, I believe. So it's March, what is today? I don't even know. It's 7/11 and it's March 27th, so it's Wednesday. And I have an editing client now, so I'm going to edit that, my client's book. I'm going to do 1 chapter in it and then start my editing for Immortal. So I'm going to try to get that done and get started for the night. I'm having IBS trouble, and my sister and I were playing Ark, and in Ark, it's like this, basically you survive and dinosaurs try to kill you, and there are alphas, which are like way more powerful than the regular creatures, even if they're the same type. And we saw an alpha carnivore, and we had just killed an alpha raptor, so we thought, okay, with our raptors, they're like level 106, with my sister's, and mine was like a level 80 something, so we thought we could take it, so we attacked the alpha carnivore. Turns out we were wrong, and the alpha carnivore killed my raptor. My sister managed to get hers and run away. I, however, died, and my level 80 raptor, my friend, I named her Mirasuki, she died. So that just happened seconds ago, and when we exited the game, without saving, it still saved it. So yeah, so I'm mourning the loss of my raptor and a lot of fear. Like, I love Ark because when the dinosaurs attack you, it like makes me so afraid and you get your adrenaline going. So yeah, it's such a fun game, but also very inspiring. But I've got to get going, so I'm going to edit for my client and then edit Immortal, and I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, so I have my fan on, my desk fan. I look like a mess. It is 7:50 and I just finished editing for my client for the evening, and I'm tired and brain dead already. Which is ironic because I could have kept editing last night. I was so tired, but I'm like worse tonight. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Could be all the IBS trouble and just editing for a client like somebody else like requires a lot more brain thought, I guess. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to edit Immortal and get through Jamestown. So hopefully that'll go smoothly. I'm waiting for the document to kind of load in because right now it's probably gonna lag and that's just gonna frustrate me. So yeah, that's all I've got. It's just one of those really tired nights and just low energy evenings for me. Like I could seriously just lay down on the couch and sleep right now. So I'm gonna try to push through it though. And I'm definitely not gonna be writing tonight for sure. I'm probably not gonna write until I get at least my client finished edited, my client's book edited, because it's just a lot to try to edit a book as big and complicated as Immortal and then have somebody else's book on top of that and stuff. And I'm still looking for more editing jobs, so I need the money, but like if I take on another editing job on top of this one, it's going to be even worse on me, and I may even have to delay Immortal. So I don't want to do that, but I need the money, so that's another neither here nor there. So anyways, I will check in with you guys later. Still not loading in. Scrolling all the way to the bottom because that's fun. 400 pages. 395 technically. Yeah, that's frustrating. Anyways, I'll check in with you guys later and hopefully I can get through Jamestown tonight. That's the plan. Okay, so it's only been a few minutes ago. My hair drove me crazy, so I braided my hair. It's like not that laggy. It would get laggy if I tried to type it, but as I'm reading, one, I'm really into the story immediately, so at least I can enjoy what I'm doing. However, I'm spacing out so bad. I'm in the first paragraph and my brain is already skipping sentences, and like there's not a lot to change. Like if you notice, there's nothing on this particular page because we did a lot of work for round 1. So round 2, it seems like it may go smoother, but I am spacing out so bad. So I may have to like read out loud to keep my brain focused on what the words are, because I'm just skipping over it. And I need, like when you're editing, you have to focus on every sentence to make sure that you're editing it. You know, you're not just reading the story for fun where you can kind of like skim and still enjoy. You can't do that when you're editing because you have to read every single word and make sure that everything is correct. And I'm not able to do that right now. And the thing is with Immortal, like with books, I can predict, okay, if I do a chapter a day and there's like 20 chapters, that means I'll finish it in 20 days. Like Survivor was 23, so I knew it would be 23 days unless I have to divide a chapter in half. So I had 7 extra days till the end of March, so I still kind of estimated, but Immortal's not divided by chapters, and every time period is a different length, so there's really no way to predict how long it's going to take me to get it done, other than the fact that it took me 52 days the first time. I think I may procrastinate while I'm still waiting for the document to load in, and I'm going to get on a calendar and see if I can like calculate 52 days from now if I take the same amount of time, and then figure out how many days I have that I could technically take off where I don't edit Immortal that night to give my brain a break. I guess I'll check in with you guys when I figure that out, because I need my phone calendar. Actually, I've got a calendar here, so it's gonna be a lot of counting, so I may just check in with you guys in a minute. Okay, so here's the thing. 52 days from now, if I did my math right, which I'm tired, so I may not have, would be May 17th. So let me write that down. Finish. Okay, so I knocked some stuff. Yep, there it goes. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta pick something up. Okay, so 52 days from now is May 17th. So that would be the rest of March, all of April, and half of May to finish Immortal, if it takes me as long as it did last time. Keep in mind, I was editing for what Heather said my editor. I was editing for myself. I was editing historics and fact checking, which means I had to pause to do research, like you guys saw the vlog series. So I hope it'll be less than 52 days, but that's the longest that I'm willing to let it go, because May 17th, say I get it done, and even if I formatted it and ordered a proof copy that night, which it takes a couple of days to prove it. So say I managed to format it and get it proofread from the 17th within the next week by the 24th, and that means that proof copy would come in on June sometime in June. So June 24th would be an exact month, which means that if I want to do a July or August release, the proof copy comes in June, and that leaves me July pretty much to proofread, July and August. And even then, that would be pre-ordering it then. But I would could put it on pre-order once I get the proof copy. I don't know, I'd rather wait and get it done first and then put it on. So even if I finished proofreading it in July, I would put it on pre-order. Typically you do at least a month, so that's a September release, and then that pushes that would still push Survivor back. So basically I need to get it done sooner than May 17th, but no longer than May 17th, which means no days off for me. So here I am. I'll read out loud to try to get my brain to focus, and maybe I'll get into it as I go. I think last time I was editing so much that I was like enjoying the story, but this time there's not a whole lot more to edit. So I'm actually like enjoying it as a reader, and I do that with my book sometimes, and that's the only time I can ever shut my editing brain off. Any other book I can never do that, and I see mistakes everywhere. So I need to like get back in editing mode and not reader mode, because for me that is two different things. So I'm just going to start reading out loud and see if I can get myself into editing mode. So I'll check in with you guys later. It's now it's 8:01 now. So, okay. So I finished editing Jamestown. So yay. It's 8:40, so it's almost 9 o'clock. So this is Jamestown, which isn't that much, and there wasn't a whole lot to change. There was one incident where I caught something, and I thought about actually showing you guys, because the whole paragraph is not going to reveal anything spoilery. And I made a comment to myself because I haven't decided how to resolve it. But let me show you guys what's going on here. So, keep it focused here. Okay, so the original sentence that I had was, normally I take a small break just after high noon to go into the back of the fort with a stick and practice my forms, despite that swords aren't used anymore and that I have not even looked upon a katana in years, but today I could hardly move my body to practice the moves. So this was not put in italics when it's a foreign word, and it should have been, and katana was listed in the glossary as first appearing in one of the later Japanese arcs, and I want katana to first appear in the later Japanese arcs, so I was thinking about changing the word katana. So this is what it says now. Normally I take a small break just after high noon to go back to the fort with a stick and practice my forms, despite that swords aren't used anymore and that I have not even looked upon one in years, but today I could hardly move my body to practice the moves. So it sounds fine to me, but I messaged my editor to see if she had a preference, and I sent her some screenshots and stuff. I don't know, because katana I do like there, because it's a little bit more specific, because he's talking not just about sword, but specifically kenjutsu, which specifically with a katana. So those kenjutsu moves. So it is a katana, but a katana is a type of sword, so it's just like less specific. But that way I can leave the glossary alone, and katana would appear in Japan when it makes more sense. So I think I like it this way. I'm still going to leave my comment to myself, so that when I go through the book to resolve all comments, basically, which are things that I can't decide in the moment, yeah, I'll do that before I do like final formatting and stuff when I'm done. But I did do Jamestown. I was thinking about doing the next letter, which leads into the origin story, but I think I want to keep, because I edited the letter for Jamestown yesterday, and I was kind of like disconnected from the letter specifically, and one of my edits for Jamestown that I was concerned about was the letter, so I think I may read the letters with the time period they go with, because it keeps my head more into the letter that came before it. So that's it. I'm done, and I may or may not still try to write tonight, but boy am I tired. As I read, I mean, it's Immortal, it's Jamestown, it's history. Like, I got into it just fine in the story, and I was able to actually concentrate more on the story since there wasn't a whole lot to change. So yeah, that's everything. Day 3 of Editing Immortal. I'll check in with you guys later. I forgot to mention, I'm learning a new grammar thing. Well, punctuation actually, with ellipsis marks, which are like the ... And apparently I wasn't consistent that if you have a sentence with a ... that's interrupting a sentence that's like the same sentence, then the next word is not capitalized. And she used the word, I'll pop this on the screen for you guys, but this is ... amazing. The A would not be capitalized because it's the part of the same sentence. But if you have a sentence with it uses them and then the sentence changes, then you capitalize the next word. So this is ... no words can describe this. The N on no would be capitalized, and I forgot that rule, so I had to pull out, because she wrote that on the very first page. That's what the part of that is about. So I had to double check that rule because I did have ellipsis marks in this, so I'm learning as I go. Also, I went to put the book away and I decided to get the next section put out, like taken out of the book, so I can like separate it using this thing. And this is the origin story, but it's actually technically 3 different sections. We've got the origin story, we've got Joppa, and then we've got Rome. Actually, there's a little dot there. This says Joppa, so I wonder if there's one for Rome. But I'm gonna kind of like connect them all together. But so tomorrow's goal will be to get through the origin story, and possibly Joppa because it's pretty short before Rome starts, which kind of leads into Rome. But so tomorrow's big hurdle is, again, to get through the origin story, which for me is repetitive because I've read it so many times. Keep in mind, I've edited this with an editor twice before I hired Heather. And so then I hired Heather, and I've been through it with round 1 with Heather. But before that, I used to read this for fun, like all the time. And the origin story in particular was obviously the original thing in the book, so I've read it more times than anything. And then I wrote the TV script, so I had to read the book to translate it to script, and then I took the TV show scripts and translated that back into a third-person narrative book that follows more of the TV show kind of storyline. So the origin story got woven into those, so it's like repetitive. It's so repetitive for me. So it's the only part that I really dread in this whole book, so I gotta get through the origin story and then I'll be fine. So that's the goal for tomorrow, which may suck because I looked at the next chapter for my client and it's a longer chapter, but tomorrow is Thursday and my sister works, so that gives me extra time to play with. So I may or may not try to either do an extra chapter for my client or go ahead and start the origin story and see if I can at least get to Joppa tonight. We're starting on page 35 and it ends on page 50. And then she told me that I'm going to need to write more in that one. So I think tomorrow's goal is to try to get my editing done in the morning before my sister gets home from work. So when I sit down for my me time, I'm doing the origin story, writing the extra scenes, doing what I need to do, setting them aside so I can have her look over them. That way, my only me time, like my brain is fresh when I start my me time and I'm just working on Immortal. I may do that anyway. If I don't get my editing for my client done, I may do Immortal first and then do my client after that, so that my brain is fresh so I can write for Immortal. Because right now, with my other book, I'm not awake enough to write tonight, even though it's 8:48, so I have till 11:30 to keep doing stuff. But I've worked and I'm tired, and I'm not doing any service by trying to write tired or trying to edit tired. Like YouTube video editing, I can do tired, which I need to get done today anyway. So if I did that tonight, then that saves me from having to do that tomorrow, and that would free up my time. So I don't know what the best option is to do. Who knows, I may edit another chapter for my client, so that way tomorrow I don't have to and I can just focus on Immortal. Because those extra scenes, I'm blank and I'm not inspired for them, so we'll see what happens. And it's gonna be, because it's hard to write when the story lags, and it was literally like the last few pages I was editing when it finally loaded the whole book. Even though I scrolled to the last page and you can scroll and read the whole book, it's like the little thing at the bottom of Microsoft Word doesn't update the pages, and that causes it to lag when you try to write. Sometimes if you scroll it lags, but I was able to scroll this time and scroll fine, but if I tried to type anything it would just lag so bad. But fortunately there weren't a whole lot of edits, so it was just like a thing here and there. But I have to write a whole like scenes tomorrow, which means it's gonna lag and be frustrating. I can already, because it's like my words, like I'm typing faster than it can keep up, and it's like still back there, and then it messes up, and then you're typing wrong, and it just creates a hassle. I'm babbling, but I'll get back to you guys later on that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as I edited Immortal. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more writing or reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed this episode, then stay tuned for next week's episode. It'll be here. Liking and commenting and sharing this video really helps, but I promise you this gets exciting, and I worked so hard to edit it, so you'll enjoy this next episode.